What's up guys, Tiggy here from ProNDC. Welcome to another ESO build video. In today's video I want to show you the PvE Stamina Nightblade update for the Clockwork City DLC. Not a lot has changed to last patch. There has been some minor changes which I want to point out in this video. I hope we can make it a little bit shorter than the last video. And yeah, I think we should really get right into it. I'm currently on the PTS because I made my Stamina Nightblade Magical Nightblade. However, I played this basically exact same setup last patch and patch before that on live, so I can assure you it works. It's a little bit more of a support setup, and it's still really great, and you do a lot of damage with this setup, even on the target skeleton, which I will show you later on the DPS test. So as you can see, oh, 1 sec, sorry. As you can see, we are red guard. I'm currently wearing 7 medium, so I'm going full medium here because we have a shadow ability on the front bar. We have a little bit more health. We don't necessarily need 1 piece of heavy. You could go 1 piece of heavy, then you'd have more than 17k health on the front bar, a little bit less than 17k on the back bar. It's up to you. You can also put some points into health if you need that, if you want that. But in a trial, and this build is made for dungeons and for trials, usually the tank is wearing Eben, and Eben will give us 1k more health. And with all the buffs and Warhorn and stuff, you'll be sitting at around 20k health in the trial or in the dungeon. So that's pretty good. So we use max health, max stam food. We have the Warrior Stone sitting at unbuffed 54% crit and 3.7k weapon damage. And buffed, we sit at 5k weapon damage buffed with 67% crit chance here. And 63 on the back bar, which is nice. Without the glyph, we're sitting at 4.3k. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the stats. Gear wise, it's the same as last patch. I just changed some things, like I changed the skills. I have Dawnbreak on my front bar now because of the Warrior Stone to get more weapon damage, and I will get to that when I talk about skills. So instead of wearing War Machine weapons, I'm pretty sure I showed you War Machine weapons. I retraded them here on PTS, by the way, too, to test the results, and it doesn't really make a difference, but you use your passives better if you go with the bar setup that I'm about to show you. And the weapons are easier to get because we use Night Mother's Gaze weapons, so we still combine Night Mother's Gaze with War Machine here. So Night Mother's Gaze gives us crit 2 times, which is really good for the Nightblade because they have a passive ability that gives you 10% more crit damage and weapon damage, and you reduce the enemy's physical resistance by 2,580 for 6 seconds. And it doesn't count just for you, it counts for your whole group. So because of that, only one of the DDs has to run this setup, and that is really great. If someone else is already running it, replace it with Hunting's Rage. That's what I recommend. Or you could also go with Vicious Ophidian instead, but then you shouldn't wear War Machine. Like Hunting's Rage combined with Vicious Ophidian will be basically the full damage version of the full damage setup that you should wear. But you want to get Vicious Ophidian weapons and wear Hunting's Rage on the body, and most people can get that. So this setup is a little bit easier to get. So Night Mother's weapons, Nirnhold on the main bar, infused on the off bar. Keep in mind you need to run Nirn plus infused for maximum damage. However, on the Stamina Nightblade, because we have better sustain than other classes, we sometimes only do a light attack with yeah, basically with 1 weapon here. So we only hit with 1 weapon. We don't do full heavy attacks. It depends a little bit on the fight. If you do full heavy attacks a lot, maybe like in Halls of Fabrication, you definitely want to go with Nirnhold plus infused. If you have really short fights on the Stamina Nightblade, because you can do a lot of light attacks like this here, you might be better off with infused on the main hand, with a poison glyph. Always go poison on the main hand. And with a precise or sharpened if you need penetration, infused with precise might be a little bit better on the Stamina Nightblade. because if you do more heavy attacks, you always hit with both weapons, and you get better uptimes on the enchantments. So why do we run Nern plus Infused? I already explained it in a different video. The thing is, Infused on a dual wield bar will always reduce the cooldown of the other glyphs. So we do more damage with our poison damage glyph compared to combining Nirnhold with Precise or Nirnhold with Sharpened. And you could also get that if you run Infused on the main hand and then go Precise or Sharpened on the offhand. Like I said, it depends a little bit on the fight. If you do a lot of heavy attacks, you will get good uptimes on both enchantments, or good procs on the poison and good uptime on the weapon damage enchantment, as you can see here. And if you do a lot of light attacks, like here on Target Skeleton, Infuse plus Sharpen or Precise might perform a tiny bit better. But the difference is then very, very minimal. I recommend, to be safe, go with Nirnhold plus Infused. And if you don't want to recraft the weapons all the time, like if you want to use it for your stem decay, stem stork, and so on, go with Nirn plus Infused, because you can just transfer the weapons to another class and use them there and get the maximum damage, because the other classes need to do a lot of heavy attacks. On the bow, we use, of course, a Maelstrom bow. We have Precise here. Precise is, in my opinion, the best option. Nirnhold is the second best option. Now, what's the deal with Nirnhold? Nirnhold bow, we have that here. Nirnhold gives us a little bit more weapon damage, as you can see. Let's check this here. So Nirnhold will give us a little bit more weapon damage. You can see 3.2k compared to 3k. So around 2k more weapon damage, which is nice, of course. Nirnhold, there's certain abilities, single target abilities, that don't update if you change your bar. Like we have 3.7k weapon damage here, and 3k weapon damage here. And skills like Crippling Grasp, for example, as a single target dot, they take the weapon or spell damage from the bar that you are currently on. They don't update after the bar swap. That's very, very beneficial for Nirn. However, Poison Injection got updated, so I'm relatively certain, almost 100% certain, that Poison Injection will update after you bar swap. So Nirn won't really give us a benefit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, because of that reason, because Poison Injection that didn't update in the past, we had to always cast it as the last ability. Now we don't have to do that anymore, but I still do that just out of habit. So yeah, so much for the traits on the weapons. On the armor, like I said, I go full medium. I have Velodreth here. Velodreth is the best option in trials, in my opinion. You could go Selene. Selene is also really good. It gives you stamina instead, but the weapon damage is better for your light and heavy attacks. And sometimes you are a little bit unlucky with the Selene proc. So you could wear Selene. It's not that bad actually. But the thing is, Velodreth, in some boss fights, the hitbox of the boss is so big that more spores than one can hit. For example, at Rakat or at the Assembly General, more spores than one can hit. So you get like more than 2k single target DPS from Velodreth, and that's really, really nice. Like here on the Nightblade, by myself, I get around 1.4, 1.5k DPS from Velodreth, and yeah, it's a bit more in trials, of course. So, as I said, all divines, all stamina enchantment, enchanted. Then War Machine, the other set, gives us max stam, minor slayer, weapon damage, and when we use an ultimate ability, we gain major slayer, and we put that on us and two of our allies, the one that are closest to us. So we buff others, and it's really, really great. I want to show you how great it is. Basically, let's see right here, 49k DPS. And Major Slayer, where do we have it? 45%. So that's pretty good. 45% uptime. Pretty nice actually for a Nightblade. You can go, of course, higher if you wanted to and always cast it on cooldown. But to get the most out of the rotation, yeah, I'd cast it at certain times, and I still get a good uptime on the set bonus. So that's pretty good. So yeah, War Machine, you get that from Halls of Fabrication. Night Mother's Gaze is craftable. Velodreth, you get that from The Undaunted chests from the middle one from Urgalak and Cradle of Shadows. So on the back bar, on the bow, we have the damage health poison 9. Deals 1.6k and 1k poison damage per second. So it's really, really important that you use these double dot poisons. They're really, really good. As you can see here, double dot poison, you have it here 1.4k and here 700. That's more than 2.1k DPS just from the poison. That's insane. A lot of DPS. That's pretty much it for the sets. Told you the alternatives already. So for the skills, the front bar for skill wise hasn't really changed. So it's still surprise attack as our spammable ability deals major fracture, which is really, really good. Then we have rending slashes, a single target dot, pretty nice because it's a bleed and it ignores resistances. Then we have relentless focus. This buffs us with minor berserk, so we deal 8% more damage, and every 5 light attacks we can shoot a spectral bow. However, like, I'm not sure if it's the PTS, but compared to the Magical Nightblade, I have some issues. Let me actually check it right now. Like, if I do 4 light attacks, yeah, the thing is, like, when it says 4 on the Magical Nightblade, I can just like do 1 light attack and instantly hit the relentless focus button and it will shoot on the magical version. On the stem version, I cannot do that. This is completely weird, like really, really weird, but that's just how it is. So relentless focus here, we get usually 2 spectral bows, sometimes just 1, because the rotation is just so long. Then we have our execute, killer's blade, really, really important, really, really strong, especially, yeah, hits insanely hard in trials. And we have deadly cloak to reduce the AoE damage we take, and we have flawless dawnbreaker here to maximize the weapon damage, because we get 5% more weapon damage from flawless dawnbreaker and 3% from the Slayer passive from the Fighter's Guild. Then on the back bar, Endless Hail to proc the Maelstrom Bow. Poison injection, single target dot, insanely strong. Rearming trap for 10% more crit damage from minor force. Then we have Razor Caltrops here, really good AoE dot, and then we have Leeching Strikes. Leeching Strikes is really good for additional heal and for stamina sustain, really important. And then we have Incap here. Incap, well, if you use that, the enemy takes 20% more damage for 6 seconds. And with that ultimate ability, as you see, it's only 70 ultimate. We use that to activate the War Machine buff to get Major Slayer. And also we have it on the back bar. Like, I used to run it on the front bar with this exact same bar setup. But there was a passive. This one, Hemorrhage, increases your critical damage done by 10%. This passive, like, it doesn't properly stack with all the damage done. It's not like you really get 10% more damage when you deal crit damage. It just adds to a crit modifier. Leaving that out, like, won't reduce your damage, but since we have Incap on the back bar now all the time, we use this passive all the time. So that's actually pretty nice. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for here for champion points. I adjusted them a little bit. On the green tree, you just have to see like what content you're currently running. So I have 34 into Warlord, I have 75 Mooncalf, 75 into Tenacity. You could take out some points from Mooncalf if you want to, and yeah. So I have 28 into Tumbling for dodge roll and 18 to Shadow Ward for block cost reduction. In the red tree, I'm sitting at 51 Ironclad, 22 Spell Shield, 49 Hardy, 49 Elo Defender, 14 to Thick Skinned, 19 into Quick Recovery, like always. And in the blue tree, we have 30 points into Piercing, 49 into Mighty, 56 in Precise Strikes, 51 into Thaumaturge, and 44 into Master at Arms. Depending on your group, you might want to take some points out of Piercing, put some more points into Thaumaturge, and maybe some more points into Mighty. But I'd rather recommend to go Precise Strikes and Thaumaturge. For the penetration, always add up the numbers. Sit down with your group, ask the group, are we running Night Mother's Gaze? Yes, we are, because I recommend it here for the Nightblade. It's really good.
So yes, we have Night Mother's Gaze. Are we running Thunderflame? Are we running Alkosh? Are we running Crusher? Are we running Infused Crusher instead? Or do we actually even have a Torx Pact Infused Crusher? Those are all questions you need to ask your group. And then you have to figure out, yeah, do I need the penetration or do I don't need it? You want to reach around 18 to 18.2k penetration, and yeah, just add up the numbers and then you know how many points you need to put here into piercing, but I'm relatively safe with 30. So that's pretty much it for the whole setup. For the rotation, so what do we do? Before the fight starts, we of course, like, we cast our Deadly Cloak to make sure that we reduce damage right away. So we cast this, then we cast our Relentless Focus, basically, and then we go to the back bar, put down the trap, put down Light Attack Hail, Light Attack Caltrops, Light Attack Poison Injection, then in-cap into Bar Swap. And when the Spectral Bow gets ready, we just shoot it. So this is like rotation, but a little bit faster. I will explain it a little bit slower right now. So again, what we do is before the fight starts, we buff ourselves with these skills here. So actually, what I actually recommend is go Deadly Cloak, Bar Swap, Leeching Strikes, Bar Swap, and then Relentless into Bar Swap again, and then you start. So okay, from the beginning, Deadly Cloak, Leeching Strikes, Relentless Focus, and usually, like, when the boss is far away, I just throw my Caltrops and my Endless Sail, and then my Trap, Poison Injection, and if my in-cap strike is ready, I cast this in a Bar Swap. Then I start with Rending Slashes, and then usually I can shoot my Spectral Bow. I try to recast my Deadly Cloak when it runs out, and I do light attacks with surprise attacks all the time until my Endless Hail here gets to 2 seconds. So, like, basically my back bar, look again, Trap, Hail, Caltrops, Poison Injection, in-cap, until my Hail hits 2 seconds, then I Bar Swap. Trap, Hail, Caltrops, Leeching Strikes ran out, Poison Injection. And when I'm below 50% stamina, I do Heavy Attack. I'm below 50% stamina, so I do Heavy Attack. Hail is at 2 seconds, so I Bar Swap. It's pretty much rotation. Not a lot has changed. The only thing that's really changed is that we cast in-cap strike on the back bar. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will include some DPS tests now. The thing with Nightblade is you don't really... I cannot write down a rotation, and I cannot really, like, tell you, hey, this is rotation, you can do this over and over and over again, because it's very situational. My Relentless Focus will run out at some points. My Deadly Cloak will run out at some points. And then depending if I need heavy attacks or not, like if I'm at more than 50% stamina, I can do light attacks. If I am below 50% stamina, I need to do heavy attacks, so I get back resources faster. And yeah, usually I try to... like one time use in-cap and one time use Leeching Strikes, because this lasts 20 seconds and my rotation is 10 seconds, so I can cast this every 2 bar swaps and I can cast this every 2 bar swaps. So yeah, I try to change it all the time. So usually I cast 5 abilities on the back bar, so I spend a lot of time on the back bar actually. That's also a reason why we run Precise, because, like, as you can see, the difference in weapon crit chance between front and back bar is just 4%. Really, really minimal, thanks to Precise. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Have fun with the DPS tests. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. And I hope you we'll tune in next time too. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't want to miss any more ESO content, hit the sub button. It would be really nice. So until next time, bye bye.